Well, you know, we're in the middle of harvest season, and right now, our soybean farmers in Minnesota are feeling the brunt of President Trump's trade war. China is the top customer for Minnesota's soybeans, and they're not buying any. So today, Governor Walz and agriculture leaders went to a family farm to talk about the impacts again. Here's Danny.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Tim. I'm Matt.
Perfect. Good to see you. Thanks for hosting us.
On Wednesday, Governor Walz met with the Purvis family to tour their soybean farm in Faribault.
These folks are in a pretty tough time right now.
First, high production costs around energy and supplies like fertilizer have been cutting into their margins. Now they've also lost access to the Chinese market after China stopped buying American soybeans in May as retaliation against the Trump administration's tariffs.
It's so important to Minnesota. This is a major part of our economy still.
Agricultural groups, including the Minnesota Farm Bureau and Minnesota Farmers Union, say they're now looking to replace China with new domestic or foreign markets.
These products need somewhere to go.
But China is the world's largest market and accounted for about a fourth of Minnesota's soybean exports.
We need to trade. We all know that. We produce more domestically than we can consume, and we have to find more markets. But that takes time, and we need to do that. But our real fear is we're losing our reliability.
Republican U.S. Representative Brad Finstad, a corn and soybean farmer himself who represents Faribault in Congress, said he's supportive of President Trump's trade strategy.
We can't put our head in the sand and say we're content with all of our eggs in China's basket. We have to diversify our trade partners.
Finstad and Governor Walz, for that matter, are supportive of President Trump's idea to give farmers more than $10 billion in bailout money.
If it's a short-term help to get farmers through this season and really to start next year, hopefully on a better footing, I'm all for it.
But groups like the Minnesota Farm Bureau and Farmers Union say the bailout money isn't enough.
The farmers need it, there's no doubt. But it's kind of been self-inflicted by the current president's policy, so that's a little frustrating as a farmer.
They say they're hopeful the U.S. can resume soybean trading with China eventually.
No, we'll never give up on a market because that's not the way farmers work. We work hard and try and find solutions.
President Trump is scheduled to meet with President Xi of China later this month, and President Trump has said among the many topics they will discuss will be soybeans. In Faribault, I'm Danny Spiewak, KARE 11 News.
A lot of folks around here will listen to that conversation. The president's proposed bailout for farmers would focus really heavily on soybean farmers, but the efforts have been slowing because of this government shutdown. So just one more fork in the road.